I'm Hunter Wade at the Athletes Lounge podcast. I'm here with my guest.
I'm Romeo, current overseas basketball player from Chicago, Romeo Smith.
Yeah. So Romeo, just asking you, what country are you in right now?
I'm in Ukraine right now.
So you've played in multiple places. You played in Spain, Lithuania, Estonia. Out of all the countries, what's been your favorite so far?
I would say Spain. Spain's my favorite country. One because it's good weather all year round. So being from Chicago, I don't like the cold. I just know how to adapt to it. So when I went to Spain for the very first time, going outside in December and January, and it's 60 degrees outside, 70 degrees, I was cool with that. I never wanted to get that up, but the basketball out there real good. Like the people was real friendly, just a different cultural aspect. Um, Considering that Spain was my very first country, it holds a special meaning because they had took a chance on me. Even though my college stats were not good, so it's just a special place for Spain in my heart because they took a chance on me and was able to let me build my career from there.
So I just kind of speak about, how your career started. Yeah, I'm sure you have an agency, but how do you get approached about, playing overseas?
Actually, my story was a little different. So like I said, my college experience was not the best. So what I did was I went to overseas camps, and I went to one in Florida. Nothing happened. That was actually going into my senior year of college, just to see like the competition level and to see if I can get lucky. So test my luck there. I didn't get no looks. I was not torn about it because I still had another year of college, so I wasn't really complaining. But like I said, I got lucky after my senior year of college. I went to this overseas camp in Las Vegas, and that was in July. About time September rolled around, I was got a call from the guy that ran the camp, and he said, "This team in Spain wants you. This is the process. They're gonna get your visa. You have to get your passport." So it was a crazy first time going through all that, but that's like a month and a half of me not knowing nothing, and then I have to leave out of the country in a week. So so that's the process to go through you for your very first time, but it was a memorable one. But like I said, I got lucky, so I'm grateful for that.
And you had to get your passport. Was that your first time you got yeah, that was probably your first time you got the passport, right? Yeah, that's a quick turnaround.
Man, I'm not traveling domestically. He said, "Yeah, you need your passport. You need they're gonna help you get a visa, like a working visa
Yeah.
or a student visa, depending on one, and then get ready to pack up and leave."
So let's talk about that. You talked about your college experience isn't the best, but you did get to play college ball, and I guess how did that recruitment process, if there was a recruitment process, come out of high school?
I'm a JUCO product. Proud to say that. Coming out of Kennedy King College. High school, I wasn't the best. I really didn't get good in high school until junior, going into my senior year, and that's because I was fortunate enough to run into my one of my mentors, known as Coach Barry. He actually put in time and effort with me as a young kid. That means a lot, trying to figure out am I actually good at sports or not. So in my senior year, I just had great confidence, and I didn't go to most. I didn't go to a well-known school. Went to like a low school. It was actually a military school, Marine Military Academy, and I just balled out. And I knew I was going to go JUCO, even though I really didn't know. No, I just went to. I felt like Kennedy King was the best option, so I went there for freshman and sophomore year. Freshman year, just it was different. They're bigger, stronger. Like it's a different grind in JUCO, and I really appreciated that because it taught me like you can't take nothing for granted. Everybody wants the same thing, so just having that experience and that level of competitiveness every day, it pushes you if you allow yourself to be pushed in a positive way. So I did my first year. I really didn't play a lot, about 15, 10 minutes, 18, 19-year-old freshman. Coach I don't think coach really rocked with me like that because I was just young. But second year, I did good and was actually in Missouri, and I had was in Moberly, Missouri for like a little tournament, and that's where my recruiting basically started because it was in the beginning of the year. So after that, I just tried to maintain, keep my numbers up. The record wasn't the best, but fortunately, they saw something in me, as all my recruiting coaches did. They saw something in me that they was able to talk to me and get my recruitment going. And after that, I went to Missouri Valley for my last 2 years, junior year and senior year, and they was okay. Like I said, just it was NAIA D1, so like even that competition, like that was amazing for me. Like I just love competition because I get to just test myself. So just that going through that whole process, being a new guy there, trying to fight for a starting spot every year, and like that was it was memorable because I learned how to be strong mentally and just battle through stuff like throughout all the hardships and stuff like that. So I really appreciate all that.
At what age did you realize that you wanted to play basketball, at least in college, and now it's turning to professionally. But what age did you kind of think you could do that? And the height plays a big role in that too, I'm assuming.
Right? Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't know I was gonna grow to be 6'8". I did not know that. I knew I was tall for my age, but I think I didn't grow. I was growing incrementally over high school, and football is my favorite sport. Like, but Chicago was just too cold, man. I couldn't do that, and that's just the all honesty right there. If I was down south somewhere, I probably would have pursued football more than basketball. But man, me and the coach just did not get along. Man. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I said around senior year, like I was a late bloomer, so
Yeah,
17, 18, I'm like, if I work how I've been working this past summer, I could make a little sum. I was skinnier than what I am now, about buck 80, 6'6", buck 80, so real frail. So but the confidence was there around 18. Like I can go to college. Like I can compete. But me being overseas never crossed my mind until, or just even professionally, that never crossed my mind until like junior year of college, senior year of college. Like I was a real late bloomer, but the confidence and the mental fortitude just kept me in there. But about 17, 18, I knew that I can go to college. Junior, senior year of college, I knew that I could possibly go overseas.
you know, I, the what's the adjustment when you go to a different country, and maybe especially more where you are now, where I don't think English is as widely spoken as some places like in Spain. It's like kind of they just have it learned anyway. But how do you kind of communicate with teammates who maybe don't speak English or speak the greatest English, and what's kind of the communication? I'm sure there's at least probably one other foreign guy on the team right now. Yeah,
Um, Normally, how it goes overseas is they bring you over here. Speaking about good organizations and good organizations only, there's normally a couple players that speak fluent English.
yeah,
Like there, it's either a coach that speaks fluent English or a couple players or both. Like in my predicament right now, there's like 3 to 4 players like I could speak English with a coach. And then I have a teammate here that's also from Chicago, so he the one that got me down here actually. But the language barrier is always a thing, unless you go like the only place that spoke fluent English was Estonia, and that's because that's their second language, and I had
yeah,
to learn that. So that like they'll just speak English on the street, like as opposed to me coming here they speak Ukrainian on the street. Spain they speak Spanish, obviously like Spanish in Spain. I mean English in Spain. That's not they don't
yeah.
really speak, but it was like one, two teammates that did. The coach didn't, but 1 or 2 teammates that helped me. So it was okay. But definitely the language barrier is a very big thing. So for good organizations, they know that if they're going to bring an American in, so they always have at least 2 people that can speak their language, like just fluent English.
So how does communication on the court work when not everyone kind of is on the same page, language wise? How does that kind of work, for defensive switches and stuff like that?
The best thing about basketball is the language is the same.
Yeah,
So screen, left, right, under, head, show, flat, that's universal in basketball language. And the best part about it is once you get a couple practices under your belt, you
you
can
know.
tell the players that don't speak much English, they like, okay, left, right, screen, flat under, head, show, X out. Basketball is universal in that sense where if you play at a high level, you kind of know what to do and like the terminology of it and what the words are, even if you don't speak English, but you can know like screen left, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
What was you played in the TBL, right?
Yeah.
What was your experience like in the TBL, which I guess was that your second stint playing in the States since you got
Yeah.
pro? Yeah. Yeah, what yeah.
I was with the little
No, sorry, I
oh
interrupted you.
yeah, I was with the I want to say that's that 2021 and 2022. No, 2022 and 2023. Yeah, so I was with the Little Rock Lightning, and that was a good experience. Good organization. I really don't have nothing bad to say about it, but the TBL in its general, it's like obviously we see now people going to the G League and possibly
Yeah.
to the NBA from the TBL. So that competition, I would rank it above overseas in certain places because like it's like it reminded me of like college in a
Yeah.
sense where everybody's trying to get to the next level and they doing like they is people putting in real hours, real work, and it's really a grind. Like, um, so the TBL was probably top two experiences for me to level up my game because I've never been in there. So my first year there, I did good, stats wise. Second year, I did good stats wise. So, team wise, we did good. So it was, but the adjustment, it was actually the adjustment is it was faster than overseas. I was playing against real athletic people, superb shooters, playing with that got insanely high IQs. Like the TBL is full of real pro players from all over the world. Like I mean, from all over the U.S. So especially down south region. I was in Arkansas. We played against people from Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, Kansas. It was a grind, but I like it because what I referred back to earlier, like the competition aspect, I like to see where I rank and where I stand. So that alone just drove me to like make this TBL experience good because of what I can get out of it confidence wise. Like I'm competing against some of the best people and they're going on to prosperous, whether they're going on to top countries to hoop or whether they made or whether they had an experience to play in the G League, got to try out, got to practice, whatever. So it was just I liked it. Like it was different and I like different because I just like competition and that competition was real good because it's a level playing field with everybody and it's just who's gonna emerge and that's why I like to test about myself.
Is there kind of like a different play style when you jump league when you go from league to league? Is there a different play style? It's kind of in those leagues, or has it stayed pretty consistent for you so far?
As far as overseas or in the TBL or comparing
Uh,
those two.
I guess any of the leagues you played in, just is there kind of a change in play style? Maybe stuff's refed, lighter in one league and refed heavier in another.
The TBL is definitely faster, more athletic, more like the game speed was real. It was fast. Overseas, depending on what country you go to and depending on the level that you're playing at, the speed will be the same, if not faster. But some like for me personally, majority of the countries I've been to, like I adjust to the speed with that after like the first couple of like the first game, the speed is gonna, you kind of adjust to it after the first couple of games. But overseas, I've been blessed enough to have my physical attributes to where when I did go somewhere, the speed and the physicality wasn't really a factor. But the TBL, that's the only town where I'm like, oh, these guys, like, they running real fast, they jumping real higher than me, and I'm tall, and I'm like, wow. But overseas, depending on where you go to, us, I would say Estonia was the closest thing I could replicate to the TBL because that was the first division in Estonia. So that was what I could replicate it with. And like that was a high octane. Where I'm at now is game pace is pretty fast if you just now getting into it. The other countries I've been to, the game play was kind of slow, more team oriented, come down, set up offenses and stuff like that. TBL, like I said, it's kind of ran like how colleges ran. You got your
Yeah.
main player, your role players and stuff. So everybody just trying to, you got to go off your main guys. Overseas is more like the team. Like, yeah, we know you're better than everybody, but try to get the team ingratiated and we're team first, and stuff like that. So, it's good because you know how to play both ways, but the difference is definitely there.
The How do you kind of describe your play styles? A bunch of off ball stuff.
Yeah,
Or yeah,
mainly.
how's your play style?
So I play the 3, 4, and the 5, small ball 5, because I'm not 250 or nothing like that. I'm
Yeah.
too soaking wet. So um, my play style, shoot, read. I try to do a little bit of everything that I can. I'm not gonna go outside my body, but I like to say that I can guard. Like I work really hard on all facets of my game to be able to do a little bit of everything. So, but I would say my strongest, like my play style, catch and shoot. I say number one. Um, Block shots. Just rebound and try to get as many rebounds as I can. But mainly like just catch and shoot, IQ. Like I like to pride myself on like being a real high IQ player. Like I watch film, know my personnel. Like I really take that stuff serious because it makes the game easier. I'm not the fastest. I don't jump the highest, but I'm pretty athletic. But yeah, mainly, just my IQ, catching and shoot, knowing when to put the ball down on the floor, um, being able to switch 1 through 5. I take great pride in that. So yeah, that's about it. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm just, the best thing walking. I just know what I could do well, and I know my strengths and weaknesses really well. So I just play to my strengths.
You mentioned, the TBL has a very, when you're in the TBL is a very varied, a group of guys that play in it, and
Mm-hmm.
some come from bigger colleges. I'm just gonna use like Miami of Ohio as an existence. They come, or example, they come from bigger D1 schools. You have a bunch of JUCO guys. What's it like personally when you're able to hang with guys that maybe went to a bigger school or and maybe even started at bigger schools?
Oh, so I actually do have some D1 friends, and I always tell them I don't like them because they spoiled and they always get it they want. So I just tease my D1 friends about that. I always tell them like, man, y'all wouldn't survive in JUCO, man. Y'all had everything handed to y'all, but um, they cool. Like, you know, basketball is basketball at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So whether you can D3 or hooper, like D2, D1, NAI, like if you could hoop, D1s, they gonna respect you. Like hoopers respect hoopers that actually put in the work. So like, but D1 guys carry themselves different. It's just, because they earned it, so they just carry themselves for like, I've earned this, so I'm gonna keep pursuing, if I want to. But like I'm good. Like that's how like their confidence exudes, like I'm good at what I do. And I know I'm good at what I do. And some might see it as cocky, but it's like I'm here for a reason, and you're gonna know why I'm here. So I'm gonna show that. So I would say like just being around them, like they just exude like I put in the work, so I'm good at what I do, and you're gonna know I'm good at what I do.
So, we kind of talked about, let's like when or how to get when you went overseas, what that was like. How big's the adjustment period between each place? Is there like, getting used to, I guess, how you even like order food and things like that? Like, what's the adjustment to it, some of those places? And now you're in a bubble right now, so it's a little bit different, I'm sure, than it was maybe previously. But what, like when you're in Spain or Estonia, what's it, or Lithuania, what's it like?
Depending on where you go to is just like how it is in the U.S. It's more modernized, depending on where you go. Miami has more places than Montana, stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, it's all the same. So, right now, you're right, I'm in a bubble. So everything is kind of closed and restricted off. People can't go outside past midnight. That's a real thing here. When I was in Spain, it was way more modernized. So you able to, have a nightlife, social life, food, restaurants at every corner. They own little pubs and stuff over there was at every corner. So it was just more modernized. I was in a bigger city in Spain, so it was nothing that I couldn't get to. I knew a little bit of Spanish, so me going out in public was not a big thing for me. I could just go out, order some food, and like just go about my business. When I'm in Estonia, like I said, their second language is English,
yeah,
so and I was in the capital of Estonia, so it was, everything was in arm's reach. I didn't really have to do much. Lithuania was the one I would say I was in a smaller city, so it wasn't really nothing there. So I'll probably have like probably about two, three, four restaurants, a couple stores, stuff like that. Not really a nightlife. So it's all about where you go. That's just the biggest, I say, for anybody that is going overseas or has a place to go overseas, just look into the city you're going to so you have a general idea of what you're getting yourself into. Because some states, I mean, some cities in the countries, they only have like 50,000 people, like 70,000 people. Like, not every city is 100 and 200,000 people. Like, it's 20, 50,000 people here. But those cities, I would say, are the best because it's all basketball
yeah,
there. Like, you are revered in those small cities because you're all they have for that little stretch of time, which is good basketball. If you're in a big city, it's easy to get caught up in the nightlife and everything is in arm's reach and there's more stuff to get into. So that's why I say, um, wherever is more modernized, that's where more stuff is, just like how it is everywhere.
we kind of talked about how you got into, or being a late bloomer and stuff like that in high school. Did you always? I assume you did, but did you always like sports growing up? Was this always something that you kind of in the back of mind wish you could do? And
Um, I always liked sports, but
yeah,
I never, like I said, until I was 17 to 18, that sports would take me where I'm at now.
yeah,
But I've always liked, I always played basketball. But my main sport I played growing up was football.
yeah.
Like, that's why I said, like, that's my sport. Like, basketball, I didn't start for real until high school.
Oh
I didn't
wow,
take basketball serious until, like, seriously, until that junior to senior year of summer. So talk about late bloomers. I didn't care about basketball. I was just tall. So I'm hooping with my friends. So I mean, yeah, that was just something just to do. But like as far as taking it as a craft and serious, I ain't started until I was 17. But I've always liked sports growing up. I've always, yeah, like sports always been around my life. Most of my family plays sports. They play football, so that's just like it was always around. Like they
yeah.
played basketball, ball. They did all that. So sports was always around. So I was always around
Yeah.
it, but I just liked it, I do.
I mean, yeah, you're from a sports town too, so that helps a little bit. The what? Just curious, when did you hit your first dunk?
First dunk, I was in high school.
Yeah,
My first dunk in the game, that did not occur until my junior year of high school.
and that was a fun feeling, I'm sure.
Oh, sure. For sure. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna say the crowd went crazy because I was 6'5", 6'6", so it's like it wasn't like
Yeah.
like a guy getting up, but it was like okay, like that's my first set dunk in the game. I was more hyped, obviously, than anybody, so I was like, yeah, that's a fun feeling. I got to keep doing this.
So you mentioned that you used to be, you're not heavy now, but you used to be super skinny. How
Mhm.
was there an effort to put muscle on, or did your body just kind of eventually start putting, weight on?
It was an effort. Um, about senior year going into no, that was just straight skill work. I want to say I didn't really focus on putting muscle on until I got to college, for sure. Because those guys, like I was 18, I was skilled for an 18-year-old. I wasn't as smart, but I wasn't naive out there. Like I knew what I can and what I couldn't do. But like college is where I'm like, yeah, I gotta, put on some weight a little bit, at least 3 to 5 pounds or something. Like something has to be put on. But like that was the emphasis in college. More importantly, when I went to Missouri Valley, it was an emphasis because that was D1 NAIA. So those guys are like 250, 260 I'm going against. And that's where I really started to, like, I was in the weight room like for a whole summer. Like I'm just in there. Like I can't be getting pushed around. So that's when I got up to about 205, 210 area. And then that's when like my weight just fluctuates between that now. So I would say that's my playing weight around 210, 205, depending on how it fluctuates. But it was definitely an emphasis when I was getting pushed around a little bit.
The, how has playing basketball professionally exceeded expectations to this point?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Like I would like I'm one of them guys that I wake up every day blessed. Like life is hard. Life is gonna be hard. You're gonna have your good
yeah,
days, you're gonna have your bad. But I wake up like today, I woke up like I'm in another country. Gonna have practice later on tonight in Ukraine.
yeah,
And I'm from Chicago, out west Chicago.
yeah.
And I'm in a country finna go play basketball for some money. Like known people people just can't wake up in another country and say that, let alone wake up and just say that. So I just be grateful like this could be like cause like this is not guaranteed. So even me being 6'8", me being good at basketball to the degree I'm good in, that don't mean nothing. Like I said, I got lucky in my process, and that from there on, I just been forever grateful for every opportunity that I had because I know that it doesn't come to everybody, and they could be better than me, they could be taller than me, they could be, I met plenty players that's just better than me. So one thing, I go to the gym, I try to get better than them, and then two, I'm just appreciative that I was given the opportunity to show what I can do. So that's why I say I'm just blessed all the way around. Like I wake up blessed every day, just grateful for everything.
This is really my last question, but I have prepared. What's been the biggest? I mean, I guess this might even overlap with the last one. What's the biggest takeaway, or your best performance and greatest moments you've had so far? Playing professionally.
My greatest moment that stands out is my first year in Spain. We were in the single game elimination playoffs, and I had 30 and 17 in an overtime win. And that was in my very first year. So that really sticks out. I was like 20, I was like 22, 23. First time overseas, first year in Spain, don't know nothing. So throughout that whole first year, it was an up and down roller coaster of performances. So for me to come through like that in overtime win and have 30 and 17 with 2 blocks, that was a big moment for me. And another one was just due to confidence reasons. It was me playing in top division Estonia.
Yeah,
Like that was a real thing for me because I never thought, as far as confidence, like I was that good or like that equipped to somebody say, hey, yeah, you can come on this team and we're gonna put you in the game, like that type of stuff. So it was just like those two things really stood out because one, I contributed to getting us to the championship, and two, I was able to play in a top division in Estonia. And then coming off an ACL injury. So I was able to do that coming off an ACL. So I was, man, so those two right there, like that just it helped me confidence wise and helped me believe more in my work. And the 30 and 17, like that just it solidified my work in my head to a certain degree because it's like, man, I did this. Like I almost had 30 and 20 in a do or die situation. Like I came through. So that stuff like that, you never forget because of the work you put in. And that solidifies in your mind, like, okay, if I just keep working, more good stuff is gonna happen. So both those events in my life timeline, like those assured me that I'm doing something cool, like and my work is being rewarded. Whether I see it in the next week, the next day, like I will know that as long as I keep putting in the work, one time in the game or one season is gonna show like yeah, he's a hard worker and he puts in the work.
That's really all I have. Is there anything else you want to get out there?
Um, to everybody out there, man, it don't matter where you come from. Like I know D3 hoopers that are in top divisions, D3 hoopers are in the NBA, in G League. Like I said, I was a late bloomer. I didn't really take this game for real until I was almost out of high school. Like it don't matter what your past was, if as long as you put in the work and just stay grateful throughout the whole process. Hard days are gonna happen. Life is hard. Life is gonna life eventually, and it might life gonna be hard for 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, but just keep the main goal your main goal, and whatever that main goal is, just keep working towards that. It's gonna pay off one day. It's going to be small increments of payoff, or you might have one big break, but you're going to see your work flourish if you really put in the dog days that nobody wants to do. Like, you're going to really see your work flourish in the long run. Like I said, it might not be tomorrow, next week, next month, might not even be next year. But, like, I always tell people, 1 year could change your life. A dedicated 6 months to your craft, like a real dedication to your craft for 6 months or a year could change your entire life. And I'm a walking testament to that because people that know me know like I wasn't always like this. I just put in the work and I just stayed true to the goal. And that goal was to keep getting better every day. And that's got me this far. Hopefully it'll take me further. But like that's the key to this message. Like just keep putting in the work. No matter what your field is, your profession, just keep putting in the work and it's gonna pay off sooner or later.
Well, I've been Hunter Way at the Athletes Lounge podcast, and thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thanks, Wade.
Hey guys, this is Hunter Way at the Athletes Lounge podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe where you can. Thanks.